Hi guys, how are you today? Welcome back to my channel, Adventures in America. Today we're going to talk about the travel ban that has been extended by the Philippine government and the new countries that are now included in the travel ban. The Philippines has now extended the travel ban from January 15 up to January 31st of 2021, and there are now more than 31 countries included in the travel ban. Please take note that Filipino citizens have the right to travel. So if you are a former Filipino citizen or a balikbayan and you are originating from the list of countries or you are in transit in those list of countries, you cannot travel to the Philippines. Only Filipino citizens have the right to travel even though the country is included in the travel ban. All passengers are mandated to wear a face mask and a face shield, and also you needed to register for the case investigation form depending on the ports of entry such as Manila, Clark, or Cebu. And please take note that you needed to download the Traze app for mobile tracing application, and it is required effective November 28, 2020. Now let's go over the travel restrictions and the latest countries included in the travel ban. Important advisory on entry restrictions in compliance with Philippine regulations and the development of the new COVID-19 strain. Travelers departing from or who have been to the following countries in the past 14 days before scheduled arrival are not allowed to enter the Philippines on December 30, 2020 to January 31st, 2021. Kingdom, United States, South Africa, Switzerland, Italy, Denmark, Israel, Hong Kong, Spain, Ireland, the Netherlands, Singapore, Lebanon, Japan, Canada, Germany, Sweden, Australia, France, Iceland, South Korea, Portugal, India, Finland, Norway, Jordan, Brazil, Austria, China, Pakistan, Jamaica, Luxembourg, Oman, Hungary, and United Arab Emirates. Let's go over to the list of exempted passengers. Exemptions. The following are exempted in this travel restriction and are allowed to enter the Philippines subject to certain arrival and quarantine protocols. Filipino nationals. Effective January 8, 2021, unaccompanied minor Filipino nationals only if traveling under repatriation programs of the government who shall be turned over to Overseas Workers Welfare Administration and the Department of Social Welfare and Development. Unaccompanied minor Filipino nationals not under repatriation programs of the government will not be allowed entry. Local accredited non-Filipino diplomats and international organizations such as the World Health Organization and the United Nations shall be exempted from quarantine protocols provided they will undergo RT-PCR tests upon arrival at the airport, execute an undertaking, and observe strict 14-day quarantine pursuant to relevant DOH Memorandum Circular. Non-Filipino dignitaries who shall observe existing testing and quarantine protocols upon arrival, those for medical and emergency cases, including their medical escorts, if any. Those without an existing valid visa must apply for an entry visa at the nearest Philippine Foreign Service post. Eligible passengers departing from or who have been to these countries in the past 14 days before scheduled arrival are allowed to enter the Philippines but must take an RT-PCR test upon arrival. For OFWs, the tests will be shouldered and administered by the Philippine Red Cross and Philippine Coast Guard. In compliance with Philippine Department of Health regulations, non-overseas Filipino workers and eligible non-Filipinos will undergo swabbing twice to obtain 2 specimen samples, but shall only pay for the price of one test via PALS one-stop shop. If you are originating from these listed countries, you are required to undergo a 14-day mandatory quarantine. OFWs will be accommodated for free at a government-designated stringent quarantine facility. Non-OFWs and eligible non-Filipinos will be assigned a quarantine facility designated by the Philippine government subject to availability of accommodation. In cases where hotels designated by the Philippine government are at full capacity, non-OFWs and eligible non-Filipinos must prepare to shoulder their accommodation in one of the hotels suitable for the 14-day stringent quarantine. If you do not wish to stay at your assigned hotel or there is no available government-designated facility upon arrival, you must choose your own DOT accredited hotel suitable for stringent quarantine and at your own expense, including your transportation from the airport to the hotel. You may also book your 14-day quarantine stay in advance. If you are transiting through these listed countries, you must undergo hotel quarantine until you receive your negative RT-PCR test result. Transiting passengers are defined as those who have been to the airport the whole time and have not been cleared entry to the countries above by its immigration authorities. Let's go over the procedure once you receive your test results. If you test positive, the Bureau of Quarantine shall contact and transfer you to a designated facility hospital for further medical management. If you test negative, for passengers originating from the listed countries, complete your 14-day mandatory hotel quarantine before clearance. Day 0 of the 14-day mandatory quarantine period will commence upon arrival at the airport. Day 1 shall begin after 24 hours of arrival to the Philippines. Once the absolute 14-day quarantine is completed, you will be issued a certificate of completion by the Bureau of Quarantine, and you shall be released from the facility or hotel on the 15th day of your quarantine stay. For the distribution of your certificate, please coordinate with a DOT representative or an OWA representative at your designated quarantine facility or hotel. For passengers transiting through the listed countries, present your test result together with your medical certificate to the assigned quarantine personnel at your hotel. Please complete your 14-day quarantine at home. For a hard copy of your certificate, printing services will be available at your hotel. Please take note that the rules can change anytime and that the Philippine government can add more countries or extend the travel ban. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. And I hope to see you in my next video.